Okay, next up, even and odd describes symmetry of a graph. An even function would look a lot like a parabola, like y equals x squared. An even function has y-axis symmetry, meaning its mirror images across the y-axis. If I were to plug in 2 and get this value and plug in -2, I'd actually get the same value. That's how we're going to check for even and odd functions. An odd function looks like this. It has rotational symmetry, okay? Not like your axis of symmetry, but if you were to spin it 180 degrees, you'd get the same function back. The way that we're going to check for these, again, we're going to plug in a negative value. We're going to plug in its positive value, like f of -2 and f of +2. If we get the same answer, it's going to be an even function. If we get the same number, but the opposite answer, like if you plug in 2 and you get 6 and plug in -2 and you get -6, that's what we call an odd function. So the way we're going to check this, you can pick any values. I'm going to pick 3 and -3. If you were to plug it in, 3 to the second power is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Notice what happens when you plug in -3. -3 to the second power does the same thing. You get that same 9, and 9 plus 3 is 12. This is an even function. If you can check some more values, the same thing is going to happen. But if you were to graph this, it would have, again, y-axis symmetry. It'd be symmetrical across the y-axis this way. The next one, f of x equals sine of x. And again, I'm just going to plug some values in. Let's try f of, since we're doing the sine of a value, let's do f of 30 degrees and f of -30 degrees. Same number, just opposites. Now, when we're dealing with sine, again, remember what's true about sine. Sine is a y value on our unit circle. So when I plug in 30 degrees, I get the sine of 30 is a half. However, if I rotate down 30 degrees, notice that my y value is going to be negative. It's going to have the same reference angle, but my y value there is going to be negative. So now that I plug in 30 and -30, and I get opposites of each other. And you can try more values to confirm this, but this would be an odd function. Now, some functions are neither even nor odd. So like on this next one, notice what happens when I plug in, we'll just do -4 and +4. If I were to plug in -4 and I absolute value it, that's going to be 4 minus -4, which gives me 8. However, when I plug in +4, I get the absolute value 4, which is 4 again. But now I'm subtracting +4. 4 minus 4 is 0. I get completely different values, so this function is neither odd nor even.